entrepreneurship journey in October when I just woke up and quit my job. Quit my job with immediately, effective immediately, email, because I just knew I had a bigger picture and I knew that my purpose was well beyond my corporate job. I was in a really great position, making well over six figures, and I quit. And now I am not making six figures, but I have a vision and I believe in it. So it's been about, I don't know how many months, since October, since I've been on my entrepreneurship journey.
Well, that's amazing. My name is Cilla, Cilla BK. I am the owner and founder of Haus and Madusa. We are the only queer recording production studio in New York City. I've been on my journey. I've been in the music business for over, I would say, 20 years. I've owned multiple studios, and I've been on the scene for a very long time. Had the pleasure of working with a lot of different people from diverse backgrounds. That's kept me motivated and inspired. Haus and Madusa came about. One of my queer friends was assaulted in a recording studio. So we started Googling like kind of LGBTQ recording studios, and there was nothing. So I said, you know what, we need to do this. So I opened up Haus and Madusa. It's a year since, we're actually celebrating a year, April 23rd, being open. And I'm really excited to, just be working with Chris and go on and just make great things for the community. But thank you, because I've also, took a break from my corporate job, and I'm really just focused on Haus and what we are going to accomplish in the next couple of months and years. But yeah, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Hello, I'm Vanessa. I am co-owner of Knotty Lock Lab. I'm a loctician. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I have been on my entrepreneurship journey since December 6th, effective immediately. Effective immediately, December 6th. I'm really, this is a very interesting time. It's very interesting just, like working for other people and just seeing how they do things and how it's like, that don't even make sense. And then there's times you be feeling like a slave, and it's like, how? How? No, I thought it did too, but it's okay, because I was a slave. But it's okay, because I broke those shackles. But yeah, with Knotty Lock Lab, we are hoping to eventually get to a spot where like we're no longer like really behind the chairs, and we're more like educating people just with like their locks and like hair care, scalp care, making sure that like their scalps are good. Yeah.
Thank you. Y'all are so dope. Okay, my next question is, what is the purpose and vision for your brand?
Okay, thank you for that question. That's something that I'm refining every day, but ideally my vision for Raw Honey, which is at Raw Honey New York, if you're looking at it on Instagram, is to be essentially like a women's organization, similar to like you see NYC Pride, which is centered kind of more of a white organization, but to be an organization that is for like women focused, for queer, trans, POC, and to have programming around the country and like creating spaces and having like relationships with like bars and things around the country so that queer, trans, POC have a place to go. Because it's just wild to me, like, after I moved to New York last April, I'm like, okay, where are the queer people? Like, where are the Black lesbians? Like, where are they? And it's like, damn, I had to wait like 2-3 weeks to like go to an event. And it's like that all over the country. Yeah. Yeah, so I really just want to be an organization that can create spaces and like enrich community all over the country.
That's really amazing. I have to say that. It's a pleasure being here. And again, thank you for allowing me to be here today in Haus Madusa. I have a similar vision. I mean, Haus Madusa right now, we're raising money for a queer youth program from ages 17 to 21. We're really trying to work with children, young adults who have been in really tough situations, pretty much disowned by their families for being queer. A lot of these kids come from like the middle of the country and they come to New York like, whoa, like I can be myself. And that's a big deal. And of course, POC, we're lacking spaces. We're lacking that for youth. You know, I come from Puerto Rican background, and I see the lack of spaces for Latinas and, you know, and people of color. So I think, you know, really creating these programs and these spaces are going to be just life-changing. Nobody should have to wait any amount of time to go to an event where they feel comfortable. This is New York City. This is the melting pot. But yeah, so that's the vision, and I just want to continue to grow. We do have a nonprofit that, you know, that's coming into action and coming into play. So I'm excited about the future and everything that we're going to do and really bring change for the next generation.
Hey. For Knotty Lock Lab, the purpose and vision, honestly, it was, we started because we just wanted a space where we can take care of our clients and know that like we're using quality products. Like I was sneaking in shampoo at one of my salons because I want my clients' hair to be clean, and I didn't feel like it was getting clean. And I feel like, it's crazy when I was doing it, but saying it out loud, like sneaking in shampoo, that sounds wild. But you know, like I just wanted, like we wanted a space where we know that clients are being thought of, and it's not just like, oh, how much money can I get out of you? And like really genuinely like enjoying just like the service and the time and the thought that like is put into, because you know, like people are in your heads, and like I don't know how many people are into like energy transference and stuff like that, but I just feel like if you don't want to do hair, then like why are you doing my hair? Like that's not good energy. So like just having a space where people can come and get their hair done by people who love to do hair.
That was cool. Yeah, that was so cool. I'm realizing that I'm asking y'all questions and I'm not really talking about myself. So I'm gonna introduce myself real quick. I'm gonna try to make it not a super long introduction. But I'm Christina. I am owner of GourmetGummy, and I'm also a rapper and an educator. I'm not even sure which brand to speak from at this moment, but my overall purpose and mission for everything I do is to empower the people who look like me, and anybody that's like disenfranchised or marginalized, just be the person that speaks up for them and not like, and build space for them. So that like we don't have to look for who's gonna do it for us. Like just be the person that creates it. I'm not a person who likes to complain too much, especially if I'm not like creating solutions for it, which is how this studio came to be built, and how I feel like how I keep running into people like y'all who also want to build space for people who don't have it. But yeah, that's me. I really care about the community, and yeah, I really just I put my whole everything in my life. That's how I am as an educator. That's how I am when I make music. That's why I started my own rolling paper company. I just want to put us in spaces that we're not in. All right. My next question is, why be your own boss, right? And the follow-up question is, what did the moment you decided to be your own boss, what did that look like? Like when you made that, you know what? Yo, fuck that. Fuck you. I'm out. What did that moment look like for you? What made that switch, that transition for you?
Ooh, so for me, it was a series of very life-changing events that even led me to New York. In the last 6 years, I've moved 5 times to different states for my career. I was working in the beer industry. And as I was progressing in my career and making all this money, I came to the realization this fall that like each promotion has came at the sacrifice of my mental health. And like, I noticed like with each new job and each new city I was starting over, I was having to start over like routines for myself. And it was really, although I was like, felt successful, it was like on the inside, I knew that like, I was like fucked up. And March of 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic, I moved from Arkansas to New Jersey for a role, and it was a role completely out of my comfort zone. It was like finance and pricing, but I just wanted to learn it, so I just took a chance. They gave me the job. I'm like, boom. And I got fired. And so that was, yeah, so I got fired. And so that was after 5-6 years of working for this company and being the poster child and talking on panel discussions and opening up about my sexuality. And then they fired me. And I was like, wow. So
Like from that position, like it wasn't like, oh, let's like just move her to another position.
yeah, I got promoted and then I didn't perform. But I was in I was in a stretch role, and so I was shook. So that's what brought me to New York. I got fired 2 weeks later. I got a new job offer with a better company. I got a $40,000 raise. I was like, all right, bet. But then I felt myself back in it, like getting in that same space of like, this job is taking over my life. And I always felt like I wasn't doing enough for the job because I had to dedicate my whole life for it. And then just being in New York, I just started like curating events and stuff that I wanted to see. And then I was just like, I mean, what if I could like figure out a way to do this full time? And I didn't know that I was gonna like quit and like really like push to do this full time. I just knew that I needed to quit and that I would have some income coming in. But as time has gone on, I've just tried to become creative with different things and concepts, like for the community and ideas, just trying to figure out how I can sustain myself. And so it was a lot of life-changing things that led me to doing this, but also just realizing that my career was like, I was scared to see myself like at the top. Like in my head, I was like, oh, I want to be a director. I want to be a VP. But I was terrified to see myself at that position because I knew I would be like fucked up at that level.
It's like, how much do you have to do?
Yeah, because I was already giving so much in my 20s that I was terrified to see myself there. And that's when I was just like, there has to be something else, or maybe another job or another industry. I don't know. I'm still open to like maybe a 9-to-5, we'll see. But like, I just knew I couldn't do it anymore.
I can relate to that. We have to talk later. I want to hug.
Yeah.
No, but let me tell you, okay, I could definitely relate. While doing music, I owned a straight recording studio, and I sustained really bad injuries. I was a paramedic with the fire department. And a drunk driver went into my ambulance and pretty much put me out, and I had to have 7 surgeries. That was kind of the life-changing moment. I was in a very abusive relationship at that time, and that was like my moment of like, no more. And from that point on, that was in 2012, I retired from the fire department, and I just been doing creative works, arts for the community. I currently have a corporate role somewhere, and I don't know if I'm going back. I took a leave of absence. Yeah, somewhere. And my primary goal is to make Haus and Madusa just my everything, the nonprofit, my everything. It's such a sense of like just achievement when you're doing things for your own community and you can completely be yourself and you don't have to hide behind the image of what a corporate America wants you to be. I'm a lesbian, I'm out, and I love who I am, and I love who I came to be because of the tragedy and misfortunes. But I could definitely relate to that, and I really hope, and I know that with the people I've been meeting and just this energy that's here tonight, it's like, you just know when life is pulling you in a certain direction and you're meant to do something. And I just feel that everything in my soul that Haus and Madusa will be everything I want it to be.
What was the question again?